Guys, I don't think we can do this without Dave. I don't think we have a show without Dave.
Views are down.
Yeah.
Numbers are down. Everybody's rioting.
Morale is down.
Everything
Venezuela's
is down.
in the toilet. And what do we do?
I don't know. I don't know where we go from here.
I guess we just really need Dave back.
We need Dave to come back. He was killed in a horrible accident.
Cheese grating.
What What?
Holy cow!
Hi.
What the?
Apparently, I'm giving birth today.
Cue the fetching intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
All right.
Rank it for low putty.
What a weird.
Are we all done? Are we all done with the games?
Yep. I think the people in the comments are satisfied now.
All right.
Do we want to just jump into Fallout?
Well, no, we've got Sean's movie recommendations of the
Oh,
week.
yes.
So I'm going to
Absolutely.
hand it over to Sean.
Absolutely. The two.
Transmitting to Sean. Sean, do you come in?
Sean,
Sean, how is it out there in hyperspace?
Sean,
Super
how is it out there in hyperspeed? Sean, can you hear us, buddy?
It's okay. We're good now.
Okay, Sean, we hear you've got some movies for us, buddy. Is this correct? You got some movie recommendations?
I have some booties for you. No, hold on. Movies.
Movies.
Guys. Movies. Yes, I have two
This
movies
guy's a
for you
real
guys this
smart
week.
isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
I
got two
knock
movies.
his block off, but he's in hyperspace. I can't.
He's
Yeah.
out to the glorp glop system.
Excuse me.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Or glop.
The two movies I have are, one is Warrior. It's with Tom Hardy. It is by far one of my all-time favorite dramas.
What was it?
Huh?
What was it?
Warrior.
Warrior? Tom Hardy?
Oh, Warrior.
Yes,
Oh,
Warrior.
Go ahead.
Now who's a smartass? So, it's with Tom Hardy. It's one of my favorite dramas. It's why, when I watched Smashing Machine, I thought I was hoping to be the same kind of, feel as Warrior, which is why I didn't love it as much as I should. But Warrior, to me, is one of my favorite, UFC drama movies, out there, period. I truly recommend, if you have not seen it, to really go see it. And number two is Storks. For a kid movie, it's one of my all-time favorite ones. Hey, you guys can laugh all you want
How can he hear us? He's in hyperspeed.
because
We didn't mute ourselves.
you
Sorry,
guys
we
didn't
gotta
mute yourselves.
Or like the Green Lantern when he forgets to push the mic.
yeah.
So with Storks, it's, in my opinion, one of my favorite little kid movies out there that not a lot of people have seen, that just has some of the greatest lines and some of just these really, really good moments, and also some really good actors in the process. So I truly recommend, if you have not seen that, to give your kids this movie. It's a great, great movie. So
Jordan Peele's in it?
yeah, there's actually a decent amount of cast in this movie.
It's got Keegan Michael Key in it.
Yeah, they play the Wolves.
Oh, it's got Danny Trejo playing Danny Trejo.
Yep.
Wow. Okay.
All right.
It's actually a solid movie. So if you guys give it a chance,
I'm not going to be watching this.
Weirdo.
Oh, crap. We're still unmuted. You can hear us.
No, I'm just
All
reading
right.
your lips.
All right. We've got, finally, Jay and Dave's Fallout segment. Since Dave is back, we're 3 episodes. 4?
4.
We're 4 episodes into Fallout now. I'm all caught up.
That last episode was a fun one, wasn't it?
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
halfway through it. I apologize, but I
Did
know
we watch it?
the opening half.
Did we watch it?
Yeah,
Okay.
the opening half was really good.
I'm going to need to be reminded.
Since Dave's watched the opening, I'll give you a reminder of the opening. It's with the Deathclaw in the beginning.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
In
yes,
Alaska,
yes.
yes.
Very cool stuff going on in this
That
episode.
to me, I have to say, for a show, from a game to a show adaptation, that is one of the best creatures coming to life in a TV show that I have seen in a recent hot minute.
Yeah, I love that it's like actual prop. It looks legit. It doesn't look CGI.
Well, so Oz, you haven't played any of the Fallout
No,
games.
but these two were talking about Deathclaws last week, and I made a mental note. I'm like, these must be a big deal. And then Jay explained it to me. He's like, they're like the Lionels of Fallout.
They are the fetching scariest thing you will come across
And
in
it-
the wasteland.
And it comes out literally out of nowhere. You'd be walking on the wasteland, all of a sudden you turn around, hits you, you're like, oh my gosh! And you're
Yeah.
trying, and you're crying, and you're trying to inject as much stuff into your body to stay alive as possible.
Tanky and aggressive and
Spooky.
spooky.
Can we get into spoilers so far with this show?
No,
just
'cause Dave-
real quick, can I just get my thoughts out
Yeah,
there
go for
because
it.
there's something really cool that I think Fallout's doing and it's very clever.
Sure.
It's showing like since Maximus and what's the girl's name?
Lucy.
Have split up. It's almost like we're going backwards now. It's like
Yes.
where
Yes.
everything was. It's like when they left, they kind of started going on each other's paths, and it's
Really?
like what Maximus is doing is like the good thing, and where
Lucy
Lucy is
is
going is
into
like
the wasteland.
being okay with certain things. She's turning a blind eye to things, especially what is she says some line about like they're just ghouls.
Right.
Meanwhile, that same episode or the episode before, Maximus like saves ghouls.
He protects the kids.
He protects the kid ghouls. So it's like just their way of thinking is very different now.
Yep.
Where Maximus isn't okay with it, Lucy's becoming okay with it, and it's just very interesting. It's very clever.
The parallel is there, and it's awesome to see because
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that character growth is a healthy sign of a good show.
Oh yes. Oh yeah.
Like,
And this is what makes it stand out against other like video game to film or video game to TV is that it's not afraid to use the base material. It's not afraid to use it as a backboard. It's also not just going to use it to recycle the plot. It's going on its own path, and that's what I really like about it. It's not afraid to mix it up and to change the game's lore a little bit, but it also uses it. It's not afraid to use it, but it doesn't like just bombard you with it either.
yeah.
Well, and I also like it the particular fact of not only
Hey Sean, every time you come on screen, can you just like go like this before you
just
start
start
talking?
shaking.
Yeah.
Gah!
If you wouldn't mind, that makes me laugh.
Okay, my hyperdrive blowing up on me is
Yeah.
super funny to
If you wouldn't mind.
God.
Just every time you show up, every time before you start talking, just start shaking really hard.
Okay, so that way you can visually see me. I want to talk.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
okay. So okay. So with that being said, we're with the Fallout. One thing I really like about it is, other TV adaptations. We have like Last of Us, which they are using the exact same material and they're trying to change it, which is either making people like it or not like it, and it's kind of ruining the aspect. But when it comes to Fallout, like they have a general story and lore. Sorry, my ship keeps shaking. But with that being said, Fallout doesn't have this. They have a general lore. They have a general plot. They have a general outline. But when it comes to everything else, like other shows, Halo and everything like that, they try to change the story to the public they think they want. But Fallout is using their general lore to create something new for a new game. Like they're using what they've already somewhat have, but they're using it to create a new game for the public in the
I
process.
don't know that, Sean.
That's actually been stated by it was.
Sean, if you believe a word that comes out of Todd Howard's mouth,
I do.
I pity you.
That's fine. You can pity me all you want. All I'm saying is I believe what they were saying is
Why do we not believe Tom Howard?
because he does crap us.
Because Elder Scrolls was announced in 2018.
And it's still
that's
not
the year
out.
of our Lord 2026, and we know nothing about it. So thinking we're going to get a Fallout game before the Elder Scrolls that was announced is lunacy.
Oh, what I'm saying is what they were saying was the outcome of the show, what will happen in the show will affect what's happening in the next game that's coming out.
So do we know that this show is running canon with
Yes.
the
Yes.
games?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
It is canon. The reason it's
We did
canon-
know that, yeah.
It's not based on the game. It's not based on any of the particular like titles. It's based on the lore, like what Sean was saying, the world.
Yeah, there's been a continuity since game one that goes on, but
Are
they've
we-
always
are
been
we,
set
are we
in different.
splurging into your dock here?
No, this is fine.
Okay.
But this is set in different destinations in every single game,
Right.
except for Fallout 1 and 2. I believe those are the same setting.
Or at least relatively close to one another.
Yeah.
But yeah, but then Fallout 3 and Vegas and 4 are all different locations, which is why like this one is nice because the show is in a whole different location in a different area of the US compared to everywhere else, except it's coming into the Fallout Vegas route, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So, but anyways, continue though.
Well, do we want to just jump into it?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So, if you've been watching the Fallout show and you're on season 2 and you're thinking to yourself, "What the heck is going on?" Well, this segment is for you, my friend. Fallout began back in 1997 and has remained culturally relevant since It isn't just a survival shooter game. In fact, boiling it down to just that is doing the series a major disservice. One of the most interesting parts of the Fallout universe is how it deals with its different factions within the Wasteland. There is no clear right or wrong, there are simply different ideologies that conflict with each other. That's what set these games apart from most of the opposition. It actually allowed the player to choose what they wanted. The choices players made directly affected the outcome of the story. Season 2 of the hit show, based on the pre-existing franchise, has taken inspiration from one of the most unpopular installments of the franchise, Fallout New Vegas. The events of New Vegas occurred in the year 2281, whereas the show takes place in the year 2297. So the events of New Vegas are not only relevant to the show, but also incredibly recent as well. Let's go ahead and begin by talking about one of the most relevant players in the show. Wait, where was I at? The most relevant players as of the latest episode, which is, at the time of filming, is episode 4. When I wrote this, it was episode 3. Right out the gate, during the premiere of Season 2, you are immediately exposed to arguably the most important man in all of New Vegas, Robert House. House is the founder and CEO of Robco, a company that serves as the backbone for pre-war technology in the Fallout universe. Robco was responsible for not only the iconic Pip-Boy, but also Securitrons, computer terminals, and other operating systems, and even the technology that made the vaults sustainable. So you know how, like, in the show, they're currently struggling to find a water chip to keep their water pure? Oz?
Yeah.
That wasn't part of season 1 / slowly getting into season 2, but we haven't had a lot of vaults.
That was Robco. They're the ones that make those chips. Okay. Robco is seen at the meeting where it is revealed that some of the world's most important corporations, including Vault-Tec, were responsible for the nuclear apocalypse that created the Wasteland. Because of this, House knew that, by the way, was not known beforehand. We didn't know that.
No
these
one knew that.
companies were so, like, when that was revealed in the show, like, long-time fans of the show were like, "Holy cow, what the heck just happened?" Okay, so that was news to all these new Fallout.
To everyone.
Okay. But why? Like many of those in Vault-Tec, House saw the writing on the wall. Humanity, as it was unsustainable and required fixing in order to save it. His solution was simple. Hit the reset button by causing Armageddon. His plan, however, did not require him to be at the forefront of everything. Rather, he would control things from behind the scenes. His plan for humanity didn't end at the Wasteland. In fact, to him, the Wasteland was simply a minor inconvenience. Something that was unfortunate but ultimately had to be done for the advancement of humankind. House's ideology was simple. Remove the ability for humans to govern themselves. He made plans for governance to be completely automated, with machines making decisions and policing civilians. In true Leviathan fashion, by Thomas Hobbes, House didn't have a single ounce of faith in humanity to control itself. Much like Thomas Hobbes, loss of freedom was a price House was willing to pay for peace. And before this leads me down a massive rabbit hole, I actually find this connection to be fascinating. The Wasteland is actually a great demonstration of Hobbes' state of nature. Anyway, I'll save us from that. Moving along to our next big faction, the brother. Wait, before we move on, do you guys have any questions about Robert House?
No.
I am still very confused
About what
he is.
Very, very powerful man who's controlling everything like a puppeteer.
Imagine somebody like a really, really high billionaire who is hiding in the background, not really anybody truly really knowing who he was until a little bit later, like in the lore, if that makes sense. He was just a really, really rich guy who was kind of hidden until after the events of the reset. And then he became like way, way bigger.
Actually, the show is showing us that people knew exactly who he was.
But-
Kind of think of like a Lex Luthor of sorts. So he's like the guy that's like, he's a genius. So he's not just like a billionaire that got his money from mommy and daddy. He's a genius himself. And he created this technology and he's the one that's manufacturing all of it. He's behind the scenes, pulling the strings, but he's also the face for the public for Robco. Now, Robco is incredibly important because they're the ones that create the technology for all the vaults. The Pip-Boy. The Pip-Boy is the thing that, like, Lucy has on her arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of that
Is he a bad guy?
Yes.
It's unclear. I mean, he's the one that caused the nuclear apocalypse, but it appears that he's the one that, like, it was going to happen without him. Now, here's my thing, and I will make this argument. I think he's not wrong. Like, if the nuclear apocalypse was going to happen regardless, Robert House's way of thinking and the way that he did things was the most sustainable. He had plans beyond for the future. Like, he was the guy that was going to bring the humans out of the wasteland and into basically space. Like, he had plans for everything for centuries after. Now, if that's... it is kind of bad, but at least he has a plan. Okay, Sean?
Have you played out New Vegas?
I have not.
You need to play New Vegas.
Okay. Is that all you had to say?
Yeah, because
Okay, we're going to move on.
because the way he is in that game will change your mindset of who you think he is right now.
Oh, no, I know he's a total, like...
He's evil.
I don't...
Just play the game.
Okay.
Play the game.
Okay. Moving along to our next big faction, the Brotherhood of Steel. This faction has appeared in every single installment of the series, making it one of the most iconic pieces of Fallout lore. They are a weird blend of medieval monastic order mixed with modern technocratic authoritarianism. Basically, they're an order of knights with access to mech suits and machine guns. So putting it as simply as possible, they're cosplaying as knights, and they just have mech suits. The Brotherhood changes slightly in each installment. It appears that the chapter we have been exposed to in the show has a much heavier religious aspect to it. But one thing stays the same in each iteration: the Brotherhood hates anything that isn't human. And you've seen that as well. In other words, the Brotherhood has no real interest in the future of humanity. They would prefer that the world stays just as it is. To them, it was people trying to change things that resulted in the wasteland in the first place. The various chapters that are seen in the meeting in episode 2 are actually entirely new to the series and are hard to speak on because they have not been heavily featured. However, the man that shows up at the end of the episode is actually a knight from a chapter of the Brotherhood that is heavily featured in Fallout 4, the Commonwealth chapter. For reference, the events in the game predate the show by about 10 years. The next two factions are very important in Fallout New Vegas, but don't seem incredibly relevant in the show. The first of those being the New California Republic, a government that attempts to revert the wasteland back to exactly how it was before. Think of this group as the United States. They believe in freedom and equality, but are susceptible to the very thing that destroyed in the first place, human greed. It is unclear in the show how relevant the New California Republic is, seeing as there only seems to be 3 surviving members who have varying levels of insanity. The other faction, the Legion, tries to emulate the Roman Empire, albeit the mythical Roman Empire rather than the historically accurate one. While they do get certain aspects of the Roman Empire correct, primarily the iconography and emphasis on discipline and unity, they fail to have the more subtle things that made the Roman Empire so effective, such as the system of Roman law, civic identity, and the advanced infrastructure. Basically, they take the Roman Empire's military aspect and leave behind the rest. In a lot of ways, the Legion is more similar to the totalitarian regimes that existed in 20th century Europe than the Roman Republic. This includes no personal rights, propaganda over truth, and singular and absolute loyalty to one single person. It is also unclear as to how big of a role the Legion will play in Season 2, as the current exposure is confined to 2 small bickering camps that appear to self-destruct in the same episode they are first heavily featured in.
Oh, they also don't know how to pronounce names, so that's another thing.
Yeah. Questions? Cool. That was the segment then.
Sound dope?
Yeah. I don't really have any desire to go and play the games, to be honest.
You should just at least play New Vegas. Like, if I have to make one recommendation of any game, play New Vegas, because New Vegas is, if you were somebody who grew up in the wastelands and you're now exploring New Vegas, especially with the current game or with the current show going on, a lot of it makes more sense of what the direction is they're going with the show. Now, your choices, at least according to what I've been hearing, the choices of New Vegas are not affected in the show, but it makes a lot more sense when you're playing the game.
But this show has done a fine job of just existing on its own. I don't feel the need to play the game.
Yeah,
I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything at all.
I don't think you should.
And I think the show is doing a good job of this is for a general audience of people who haven't played the games, and we're going to explain it to you, and you don't need to be spoon-fed everything. And I don't feel left out because I haven't played the games.
And I think that's why this show has been so successful so far, is it takes everybody, even younger audiences that have never been exposed to Fallout, and they're like, oh, I get this. This is cool. Because I've seen kids in my classroom with stickers of Fallout, New Republic, and I'm like, I know you've never played that game before, but they like it because they've seen the show. And I think that's what's making Fallout so successful as a TV series. But if you don't have any questions, we can go ahead and move on.
Yeah. You got anything to add?
No, I agree with everything Jay said. Like, I think it's positioned in an interesting way because it's not based on a game, but it's based in the world from the games. Whereas if you look at The Last of Us, it fell victim to needing to follow the game that was good. And of course, they made changes that didn't make it good. And that's where the criticism comes from. And, kind of like looking forward, it has me worried for game or TV show adaptation of games such as God of War, where it's not going to take place in the world of God of War. It's going to follow the game. So it's like you have something that's successful like Fallout, and then you have the things that aren't successful that follow the story. So I don't know. We'll see. But
I think, yeah, this is by far like the best video game adaptation that I've seen. And I think it works because there is so much Fallout lore and they can just do whatever they want with it. It's like, it is what I want Star Wars to do in every sense of the way.
And it's what Mando did for the
Yeah.
first season.
Where it's like we have
I would
this
say first
massive
two.
world that we
First
can
two,
use.
yeah.
We have characters. We have stuff we can cherry pick and use and create our own stories with. And instead, we're just going to stick to, retreading everything that we've already done. Last of Us retreading the exact plot line of the first game. What else? What other video game adaptations have we had where it's just like,
Trash, Halo.
well,
Halo didn't
Freaking-
retread the games, though.
No, but
Uncharted
they
wasn't
got
too
rid of
bad.
all the whole. They got rid of the whole. They got rid of the games because they just wanted to create a whole new story, which ruined the whole thing. They just only cherry picked what they wanted out of the games, and it ruined the whole thing.
I still don't love the fact that in Uncharted they chose Mark Wahlberg.
As Sully.
What a weird choice.
When they had, who's that guy who plays Quaritch? Stephen Lang.
Mm-hmm.
He there was a short that came out in 2016, I think, where it had
know that.
Nathan Fillion as Nathan Drake, and then it had Stephen Lang as Sully.
They let the ship sail. If Nathan Fillion could have been there, he would have done
would have
such
been
a
so
great
great.
job. I wish we had gotten that, especially being like a Firefight fan. Like, it breaks my heart that we'll never see a Nathan Fillion Uncharted.
And instead, he's off making some stupid ABC show called The Rookie.
Oh,
could
you-
be good.
people-
could be
You
bad.
shut your mouth.
People love that show.
my mom and dad adore the
I
Rookie.
love that show. You shut
sorry.
your mouth.
Mom, Dad,
I'm gonna-
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna crash my ship
I
into
just-
you.
I think it's a waste of his talent. He could be doing more.
Yeah. Well, moving on, Dave, you have finally finished The Way of Kings.
Yeah, I was in stasis for about a week, so I'm kidding. I was dead, and then I came back because I was like, oh crap, I got to talk about The Way of Kings.
How does resurrection work from being cheese grated to death?
I was cheese grated to death?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
How do you know that I have a fear of cheese graters? Because every time I use one, I slice no joke, I slice my thumb. I
that's
don't
how you
use
die.
cheese graters.
So
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Moving on. I did take some notes. I will say this. Part 4 was the ending of the book. And part 5 was the MCU mid-credit and after-credit stuff. As soon as I just viewed it that way, it made me love part 5 even more because all of these questions and theories I had were literally answered. And then
which ones? Which specific?
So, one of the ones I distinctly, I'll get there when I get there because I don't want to say it all. Of course, I didn't take notes. I lied.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but
No, you're okay. I think I loved it so much that I didn't take my notes, and then, yes. I need to pull up the chapters because it goes by chapter. Okay, so Sea of Glass is going to be the first one. That one was insane because Shallan approaches Yasna and essentially is like, the ending of those mystery shows where the sleuth is just unraveling the entire plan for a 10-minute monologue. Yeah, she was like, I had this plan to steal your soulcaster, and I did. And you soulcast it still.
Okay, this was something I was like, do we talk about this? Did this happen yet? Do you know about this?
Yeah.
But now you know. Okay.
Yeah, so it didn't expressly say like Yasna did it with her broken soulcaster, but it kind of revealed like, hey, you soulcasted the poison out of my blood, and that's why I had this reaction and this, and that. And she's like, you don't have a real Fabrial. And Yasna is like trying to deny it, like, oh no, you don't know what you're talking about. And then Shallan goes back to the Shadesmar. So first off, the fact that there's some voice that she's talking to, she's like let me in, and he's like, you need to tell me a really good truth to deepen our bond. And she's like, I killed my dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of figured something like that happened, but that was a fetching mic drop if I've ever seen one. And then she gets teleported in, and she's sinking in the glass, and then Yasna yanks her out, and Yasna, being the freaking bad bitch she is, she just controls the glass beads beneath her because she's been there. And the fact that these two people are special because they can soul cast without a Fabrial is just so awesome. And so here's my thing. I think Shallan is going to become one of my favorite characters because I'm 99% sure she has a shard blade. She has a shard blade, and she can soul cast without a Fabrial. Those are two really fetching powerful abilities.
I will say after this book, she is a lot more interesting.
Okay,
I agree.
I hated her in the beginning.
I'm a Shallan defender. I like the Shallan chapters.
Yeah, I hated her in the beginning. I'll admit it, but she has grown on me, and just realizing this was so cool. And so it ends with Yasna being like, "Okay, cool. I'll take you back in. I'll teach you how to soul cast and stuff."
I think one of the weakest points of Brandon Sanderson overall is his sense of humor. I just don't think B. Sandy is a funny guy at all. And so when he's writing Shallan, it's just like she's supposed to be like quirky, funny, smart girl.
I didn't get that at all.
No, and it doesn't come through at all. And it
No.
just it ends up bothering me more when he tries to do that with her.
Okay.
But she does get more complex.
Okay,
I'll
because
say that.
with Yasna, I get very straightforward.
Oh yeah, Yasna's a boss.
Oh, are we talking about Shallan being quirky?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, yes, that does get annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yasna's freaking hardcore.
Yeah, Yasna is just dope. Also, B. Sandy. Love the bath scene with Yasna. Hope there's more of that in the future.
I don't. What is he? He's brought this up twice now. What is he talking
really
about?
Did a number on him apparently.
What
huh?
was this scene? I don't
How
remember
many
this.
times did you listen to that scene there, Dave?
Trying to remember.
Are you
Okay, recorded in blood. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you guys off. Recorded in blood, chapter 71. That was the chapter that Kaladin.
Part 5 is tiny.
Yeah,
I didn't realize that.
I was like, this is the end of the book was justice. All of this is end credit stuff.
Yeah.
Recorded in blood was when Kaladin was ordered to meet with Dalinar, in like a one-on-one, kind of just talking about how Kaladin's life was given back to him over a shard blade and trying to figure that out. And there's dialogue. I don't know how much of it is important other than just really establishing this like weird awkwardness where Kaladin just has this deep-seated hatred for Light Eyes, and he can't figure Dalinar out still because Dalinar just did the unthinkable and gave up his shards for a slave, for a bridgeman. And so Kaladin is still trying to figure him out. What's his play? What's his angle? He's cautious, but he's still like giving in. The end of the chapter ends with Dalinar giving Kaladin a cloak with the Kholin seal on it, the Kholin glyph
Yep.
on it, which is really cool because he says that you're a part of the family.
Yep.
And I liked that. That one hit. The Veristillion?
Now, one thing I do want to ask:
Veristillion?
does Dalinar yet know that there's something special about Cal, or is it just that he saved him? Is that where we're at yet?
I don't think he talked about Kaladin being
No,
able
Cal
to.
Cal
stone breathe.
holds it a secret.
Yeah,
the entirety.
'cause he
of
doesn't want to
book
be
2
exploited.
almost. Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't get brought up. The next chapter, we meet up with Teravangian and Zeth Sun Villano, Truthless of Shinovar.
Yes.
So it opens up with Zeth, Sun Villano, Truthless of Shinovar, breaking into this castle. He's gone down
Wait,
the list.
who again are we talking about?
Zeth, Sun Villano, Truthless of Shinovar.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Wore white on the day was to kill a king.
I showed Tori that. I said, here's the opening line of the book. And I showed it to her. And I'm like, does that not make you want to read this? And she's too busy reading the Handsmaid sequel.
Where they
Housemaid.
go, I vomited into the toilet.
No, that's Throne of Glass.
We don't want to start a war with Throne of Glass, sorry.
No, so I remember I asked you guys. Well, so all right, we'll get there. We'll get there. Sorry, I'm just really excited because I forgot.
Keep talking. I'm gonna go make sure the AC's on
Okay.
real quick.
So at this point in the book, one of the interludes, Zeth, his former master was killed, and there are these new guys who are like mysterious, who killed the guy that had his oath stone, and he throws him a list of names. Then they're all like kings or really, really powerful people, and they have to be killed in a specific way, in a specific order. And he's like, okay. So where we pick up with Zeth at this point is he made it down to the last name on the list, which is Taravangian. We know Taravangian as the very humble old king of
Kind of a sweetheart.
where's Yasna and Shalon? What's the name of that?
Carbranc.
Carbranc, yeah.
Carbranc, yes. So he's the king there. He's known for his hospitals. He
Yeah.
makes hospitals to heal people, and it's awesome guy. So Zeth is going to go kill him. He breaks in, tries not to hurt any of the guards, and then he is instructed to say, I forgot what he was. It's not important. He was instructed to say a certain phrase before he killed the person.
He was supposed to say bazinga.
Yeah, he says bazinga. And that's like the code word.
That's not at all what he told him to say.
I'm sorry.
Let's keep it serious. When Dave's trying to talk,
He's hurting
about the
me.
books, when Dave's talking about the
He's
books,
physically hurting
we
me.
don't make bazinga jokes.
Hey, what are we talking about here? Why are you guys just mute? Mike's muted.
So there is a phrase that Zeth had to speak to Taravangian to kind of just confirm, okay, cool. And then we learn that Taravangian is his master. He was the one that he's like, hey, kill all my friends. And Zeth is trying to figure him out. And he takes him into this big white room with a bunch of people laying on cots, and they're all like dying and sick. And I remember asking you guys what the fetch was going on at the beginning of the chapters, where it was like just some person, and then it says like who they were and like when they died. And we learn that Taravangian is like sick in the head. At least I think. I want to assume he's sick in the head, and he thinks that he can save Roshar from the impending doom.
Holy fetch! There's so much left in this series that he just doesn't know.
Yeah, he basically kills these people. He tries not to kill healthy people. He takes the people that are like essentially like beyond the point of return when it comes to their sickness. So he's like, I ethically kill them is the angle he's coming from. And Zeth is trying so hard not to break his like oath and murder him for what he's doing. And we learn that he believes that they're like seeing something that he thinks is the answer to their problem before they die. And so what did you guys call them? Death notes or
Death rattles.
Death rattles. So these death rattles are essentially the key to what Taravangian thinks is going to save Roshar, which was fetching insane. I don't know. I loved finally getting that answer because that was one of the questions that kept reappearing because every chapter opened up with one. So I'm like, what the heck is this? And so being able to learn, oh, these death rattles are this, that's awesome. Skip. Ghost Bloods. We learn about the Ghost Bloods a little bit. Not really anything. Enough to make me want to care. I know that there's a book coming out, the first of 3 called Ghost Bloods. But we learned that Shalon's dad was associated with these dudes, and they're all very powerful people who work in the shadows trying to do something.
So the Illuminati.
They're
Kind of, yeah. They're kind of like Cosmere Illuminati.
They're viewed as bad guys from this point in the book, like not good people. If Shalon's dad was associated with them. And then the book ends with another high storm vision from Dalinar. And this one, he is speaking
Dadinar?
to... Yeah, I love Dadinar. Do you think he's got a dad bod? Do you think Dalinar's fetching shredded?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dalinar. Oh yes.
I think of an older like Geralt of Rivia with a big beard. That's what I think of.
I've always imagined him
With
as
just gray hair instead of white.
Russell Crowe.
Russell Crowe.
Yeah, that's how I've always
Like
pictured
you
it.
think like a long-haired, long beard Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about Russell Crowe
No,
currently, or
is
we're
he-
talking.
I think
I always
he's more-
imagine him clean cut.
I think when he's like
could've
when
sworn he has
he's
a beard.
when he's Blackthorn, I think that's when he looks like a bearded Russell Crowe, drunk all the time, just like
Spoilers.
killing everything.
Spoilers.
That's not a spoiler. You know he was
I don't
drunk.
want to know anything about the Blackthorns yet.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, you have Oathbringer to read, buddy.
It's book 3, dude. I gotta get through book 2 first.
Yeah.
You say get through, dude. Book 2's like the best one.
That's
Book
what
2 is the
everybody
best one.
says. Everybody says book 2 is the best one, but for whatever reason, I look at Oathbringer, and that's the name of the
I
sword that Dalinar
think-
had, and I just want to read that book.
Yeah.
I will say I started Oathbringer, and I went more of a stop still than I did with. No.
So the fact that Sean didn't like it should get you jacked out of your mind.
Well, I didn't say I liked it. It was more like I just had a standstill. Like it was just more like as I was reading it, like
Very
I,
exposition heavy.
right, and I just had more of a standstill out of it compared to book number 2. Like I literally could not turn off my audiobook because I was I
Brandon
wanted to listen.
Sanderson has said that with The Way of Kings, he wrote a book that was like meant to please everybody. And for rewarding them for sticking through, The Way of Kings, 1,000-page book, he gave them more of what they got in the first one. He gives you more, and he gives you even higher highs, and it's what the fans want. And then he said, after that point, he's like, I'm doing what I want to do. I'm telling my story. And that's where Oathbringer comes in, and it feels different. Like, Oathbringer feels different than Way of Kings, than Words of Radiance, and then Rhythm of War is very science-heavy, where if you want to know
Okay.
about, like, how everything works, like, the mechanics, the science of it all.
I like that like writing board that they can use to telecommunicate with each other.
Yeah, you'll learn all about that. And then Wind and Truth is very... It's the weirdo.
That's the last book in the Storm.
It is the redheaded stepchild of the series, I think.
You either love it or you hate it, from what I've seen.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
Yeah, but that High Storm vision, he's talking to a dude that he realizes he can't talk to, and these visions that he thought he was involved in, he can't directly speak with this voice that was talking to him. This voice was just like speaking not into like the void, but he's the Almighty. The dude was God. He was talking to God, which was dope. And it ended with him saying, "And now I'm dead," or something like that. And it's like, oh, fetch. So I'm pretty sure that's Odium.
Honor.
What?
That's not a spoiler, is it?
What?
That it's Honor that he's talking to?
No, it didn't talk about who he was talking to.
I think it's
in
a book
that
2.
moment.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I think it's a book 2, Jay.
If he doesn't remember, Dave seems to be taking pretty good notes of
He's
everything.
taking really good notes. Better than I did my first time.
One of the ones I forgot was from Hoyd's perspective.
That's the very epilogue, right? That's the epilogue.
Yes, that's the epilogue. The end, where there's like just this dude who's like ripped and almost naked and has like long hair.
Is it Taln?
It like he has a really long weird name, and he like opens up. I think this was at the Kolin Kingdom castle.
Yeah.
And he like uses his
volume
massive
1.
shard blade to open up the gate, and he like comes in and collapses, and Hoyd's like, oh, like fashionably late as always, or something like that. Or like just on time, or he might be too late, and then it ends there. And I'm pretty sure that's the missing Knight Radiant from the beginning of the book. That's what I think. That's my theory. Take notes.
Keep talking. I'm trying to find. Yeah, Talon Ellen, Stone, Sue, Herald of the Almighty. The desolation has come. Oh God, it has come, and I have failed. Yeah, Talon. That's Talon.
Tom.
And then you get this sick little picture of Bridge 4 at the end around the campfire with Rock with a stew. Them some boys. Them
some boys.
Them some boys right there.
Can you transmit that picture?
Can you see it? That's our crew right there. That's our Bridge 4.
Oz, if Dave was a member of Bridge 4, which member would he be?
If Dave was a member of Bridge 4, Dave would be Moash, I think. I think we're going Moash.
Dave, how do you
for
feel about
Dave.
Moash?
Wow. Okay.
I think that's a solid pick.
I think you would be a good Moash.
Thank you.
Do you like Moash?
Yeah, I like Moash.
Who am I?
You're Teft.
Oh, that's lovely. I know you think you're Kaladin.
I am Kaladin, Stormblood. I'm Cal. Sean would be. I think he'd be Lopen. He'd be the
Lopen.
one-armed,
Yeah.
one-armed Herdazian.
Yeah.
I don't know if I should take that as an insult or not, but I'll take it.
Why would you take that as an insult?
You don't like the
Lopen's
Lopen?
freaking bad A, dude.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm just why I don't have one arm.
Yeah, good book though. Good book.
All right, Dave, I have some questions for you.
Let's hear it.
So, prior to this, you had never read a single book outside of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, correct? You've read like Lost Stars. You've read like a couple Star Wars books.
Only
Nothing,
Lost Stars.
nothing on this level.
Yeah, this is. Forgive me for saying this wrong, but from what I have read, I view this as what's known as high fantasy, like
Yeah.
high level literature, fantasy novel stuff, or not novel, but fantasy literature. Like
Sure.
This was some high level stuff that I don't think I would have ever thought about reading. I remember because you guys have been reading this stuff for a while, and I've known you guys have liked this stuff for a while, and I just never showed or cared it at all. If it weren't for this channel, I don't think I would have read it.
Yeah. But how was the experience? How did it go reading Way of Kings? Was there a point where you were like hooked? And when was that point?
I'd say partway through part 2. Getting rid of Shallan, like the early Shallan stuff, I did not like. It was just hard to grasp onto. But Kaladin, I was just captivated at this story of soldier turned slave turned Suicide Squad guy, Bridgman. And Kaladin was the one that I leaned on through because thank goodness every single part had his story in it. So I think if Kaladin was not consistent throughout the Way of Kings, I think I would have had a harder time. But being able to grow attached to his story and follow it with sprinkles of other characters was what made it good. Dalinar coming into the fray is where I was like, okay.
Who was your favorite character?
Oh, Dalinar.
Dalinar.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I'd say Dalinar followed closely by Kaladin. Kaladin is a very, very close second. Almost to the point that it might be one of those things that I know you guys don't like, but when I'm like, ask me on a Monday and it'll be Kaladin, ask me on a Tuesday, it'll be Dalinar. Like, it's that close, but I think I just really like the leader that Dalinar is presenting himself, what he wants to be, his intentions, and how he treats his people. Like, Dalinar is the leader that I want to be, and I loved that.
Yeah, I agree.
We do love Dalinar.
What was your peak moment in this book? Like, what was the point you were like, oh, heck yeah, this is the best?
Is the follow up going to be what was the lowest point?
Yeah.
Like, what did I hate, or
Like, what was
the lowest emotion?
No, like what was like the hardest to get through this book? Like, what
Okay.
did you struggle with?
So,
But go with your high first. I want to
My
talk about
high.
the positive. What was the moment you shot your fist in the air and screamed?
like screamed like fetch yeah.
Yeah.
I think Kaladin getting his life back, like Dalinar, like just digging his freaking shard blade into the rock,
good
and
one.
just like my blade for your bridgeman.
Yeah.
Like that was a dope part. Like I kind of to add to that, like the biggest emotion that I remember feeling was when that Light Eyes High Prince betrayed Kaladin for the
Yeah.
shards. That was like the biggest like what the F.
Agreed.
So yeah, just to add on to that, those were like the two parts that stick out to me in terms of
And-
like where I
and
had
to
the
give you-
most emotion.
To give you some advice, I'll say what my dad said to me when I was reading it, and I'm like, does this guy catch a break? I came up to him, I remember reading that, and at that point right there, I was like, hey, come on. I like threw the book down and I was like, does this guy catch a break? Does Kaladin get a freaking break? And he said he gets his. And that's all I'm going to say is
I
he
love
gets
that.
his.
I love that.
So be fetching prepped for that.
Now, I want you to imagine a little 17-year-old Jay with no one to talk to about these. All right, that's where I was at.
That's
I didn't
tough.
have a single person that understood what the fetch I was talking about, and in order to get them to listen to me, I had to get them to read a 1,000-page book. That's where I was at.
It was definitely a lot worse than the situation I was in. I can't talk to these guys about it during the week. It's very difficult. So, and I can't even talk to Tori about it. So it's like my weeks were broken up like that, where I was like, I want to talk to somebody, and nobody I know is reading this book or has read this book.
Now, every one of you have had the luxury of having somebody to talk to about this with. I didn't get that until after I got home from my mission.
You
I had to sit on this
brave
for
soul.
2 whole years. You're darn right I am. And fetch you for being facetious about that, but thank you for saying
You're
that.
very brave. That's what I'm saying.
Oz, what was your next question?
What was like the hardest thing to get through with this book?
The early Shalon chapters.
Because
no
okay,
doubt.
we threw you in with ankle weights on, with the arm bands, with chains around your wrists. You had no experience reading, and you read a 1,000-page book.
Tone,
And you
if you will.
freaking did it. These 2 books. This is what Dave read. These 2. Okay, when a book makes this noise. Okay, can you lift my mic up? A book makes this noise. This is what Dave read. That's what Dave read. Okay, so
I
you
felt
should
that
be-
in space.
You should be proud of yourself, buddy.
I am. I really am. And I think my wife is sick and tired of hearing me talk about it.
Well, when she can read it.
I don't know. Well, I think she's sick and tired of hearing me talk about how proud of myself I am. Because yeah, we'll be like getting ready for bed, and it just like randomly hits me. I'm like, I read The Way of Kings, in like not counting the breaks that I took, like because I did take like 2 weeks total off, but those were like weeks coinciding with family holidays and stuff. About a month. Took me about a month to finish this.
That's
And-
about how long it
That's a
took me.
good. That's a good amount of time, I think.
like honestly, I haven't picked up a book since high school, and so yeah, like the last time I read and enjoyed it was Diary of a Wimpy Kid in elementary school. So it's like that's where I was coming from, and yeah, like honestly, I think you guys equipped me with
Oh yeah.
the ability to just take anything on. Like, did you have any other questions? Because I think this is a perfect segue into.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. I honestly like these guys. Like they equipped me with the chutzpah, the
Oh, real quick, what do you give it out of 10?
fetching 10 out of 10.
Yep.
Yeah,
boy.
like honestly, this book marks such a special moment for me that I am actively saving up to get the leather bound of it. Just
I would
to
wait.
have it
I'd
on my
hold
shelf.
off because I'd wait until you can like just set some money aside so you have enough when he does come out with like signed versions because it's gonna happen. He's
Does
gonna
he
have
do
like
sign ones of ones?
oh
that have already
yeah,
come out?
oh yeah, he does them all the time. Right
Okay.
now, I think he's doing like the 3rd Mistborn book.
I would love a signed one. I did. I haven't told you guys this. I did send a message to Brandon Sanderson on Instagram, just giving him my brief thoughts, and then I did get a couple emails.
Oh wow, cool.
And I was gonna send like a full blown email with my thoughts because I'm sure he gets this all the time, but I think that I'm one of those awesome instances that I think he would love to hear about, where it's like, dude, like I came from nothing and this was insane and I loved every moment of it. Minus the Shalon stuff in the beginning, but that's just.
Yep. When people ask me like, "Oh, where do I start with Brandon Sanderson? Where do I start in the Cosmere?" It's always like, "Okay, well, I can give you like the easy answer, and I can't promise you that you're going to be hooked." And it's Tress of the Emerald Sea. That's my go-to. I'm like, if you just want to have like a fun read and you just want to like trust in Brandon Sanderson that it's going to give you like a Princess Bride-esque feel, read Tress. But if you trust me and you're on board,
You'll take my hand and
you
follow
can-
me.
and you can plow through 1,000 pages, I can promise you this is going to be the best book you've ever read in your entire life.
I would agree with that. Like I think for anybody who wants to get into Brandon Sanderson, I think The Way of Kings is the only way to go.
I think, yeah.
This has, and I'm in such a unique position because all the books are out. I don't have to wait for the next one to come out. But it's like I think it does a good job setting the ground floor, and from here it's only going to be built up.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate you guys for that. Like it's given me the confidence to read way more, and that's going to lead directly into us talking about Dungeon Crawler Carl, which was probably one of the easiest reads of my life, coming off the heels of The Way of Kings.
You're coming off of a 50+ hour book, 1,000 pages to like 300 pages, 15-hour book,
Yeah.
13-hour book.
13 on. It was a 13 or 14 on audiobook. Yeah.
300-hour light romp.
But also very, very fun.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Such
gosh.
a fun
Let's
book.
do spoiler free off the bat because we've all read the book and I think we all are positive about it, right? We
Oh,
all
yeah.
got good things. And then let's jump into spoilers because it's got a lot of stuff that I want to talk about. I took a lot of notes. So just to give the premise of this book, Carl is just a normal dude,
Marine.
Coast Guard, I think, right?
Coast Guard.
Really?
Yeah.
Hold on.
It was the Coast Guard.
Yeah, I've got
we got our
2v1.
fact checker
I got
right here.
2v1, but I could have sworn he was a Marine. My bad.
We got a fact checker, but we have Carl and his cat Donut,
His
his ex-girlfriend's cat. I'm just going to give you, this is the first chapter of the book, so it's not a spoiler at all. It's Carl is brought outside by his cat. His cat's freaking out, and his cat goes outside, and he follows it to go pick it up. And at that moment, every building on planet Earth collapses, and an alien race takes over, and it becomes a game show-esque Running Man scenario where now Carl has to survive these dungeons. And there's 13 dungeons, right?
18.
18
yeah.
dungeons. But
But
nobody
the highest
has made
anybody's
it past.
ever made it to is 13.
11.
Yeah, nobody's made it past that point. I haven't written it down.
It's
I
13.
thought it was 11.
The guy made it
Oh.
to 13, but he died.
Oh.
Yeah,
immediately. Mordecai makes it to 11.
the 13th floor is the farthest anyone has made it. I made a note of that. So, the premise alone, kind of awesome. It's a lit RPG, so it is a video game-esque book. So,
Coast
ahead.
Guard, by the way. It's Coast Guard.
go ahead.
No, it's Coast Guard.
It is Coast Guard.
Right.
Why was he deployed then?
Because you can be deployed for a Coast Guard.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Huh. What did they get deployed for?
Mostly, like, they do...
Protecting the ocean.
Not only do they do like rescue,
Lifeguards.
not only do they do rescue ops, but they also take care of like pirates and other things like that. They take care of the ocean, of like laws and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, anyway, character-wise, this is a very good character. Very good characters. Princess Donut is probably the hardest I've laughed at a character in a book, period.
If a cat was sentient, that's exactly what it would be, is Princess Donut.
But I think Donut is way more likable than most cats.
Oh, yeah.
See, for me, it was always the AI just having the randomest comments, like
Yeah,
just
the
like,
AI is hilarious.
making
I
random.
want to keep it
I know,
spoiler-free.
right?
And then we'll talk about some of the funny AI things
But,
that are
yeah.
said. What do you guys think?
I have a question. So, I've heard it described as a lit RPG. Like a week ago, we weren't even thinking of reading this book, and then I randomly sent a text. I was like, "Hey, like, has anybody read Dungeon Crawler Carl? What are your thoughts?" And Oz, you made it like halfway through before
Yeah.
Words of Radiance came out.
Wind and Truth.
Wind and Truth. And so I was like, okay. And then we were like, hey, let's see what the internet wants us to do. And everybody said Dungeon Crawler Carl. So we're doing kind of like a book club type thing where we just fetch it. Let's finish it in a week. But what is a lit RPG? Because I've tried finding answers for this online, and I've had a couple people describe it to me. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Per the definitions I've heard, this is a lit RPG. Kaladin levels up. Kaladin levels up and gains abilities.
See, okay, for me, how I was reading Dungeon Crawler, I was looking at as hypothetically if Dungeons and Dragons, Borderlands, and Running Man were all combined together.
So
what the elements of a lit RPG have is like you are literally playing like a video game. So you have like a menu pop up that you can like choose where your skills are going to go to and all that sort of thing. You have these different items that will give you stat boosts. That does not exist in the Way of Kings. The Way of Kings, he has a hard magic system, which is true, but it is not. There's no skill system involved. He's
There's
not
no
a player
loot,
from another
armor.
world that's getting swapped into like this fantasy setting. Kaladin lives in a fantasy world
So
already.
Lit RPG sounds like a subsection genre of books. So are all lit RPGs like this?
Yes.
From
Yeah,
what
I
I've seen,
mean-
yeah.
Oh,
I mean, like when
And don't most of them start as like books
Yeah.
online that just get updated? Was
The-
this
the
like that?
only one I know of that has done that was He Who Fights with Monsters,
Uh-huh.
which I've read the first one of that.
Which this is far more popular.
yeah.
Oh yeah. I think as far as like exploding the internet goes, Dungeon Crawler Carl is like the king. It's reigning champ. But like among like lit RPG fans, He Who Fights with Monsters is like up there.
What about what about
Oddly enough, Big Bald loves He Who Crawls with He Who Fights with Monsters. It's like one of
Really?
his favorite
Yeah.
books.
He loves that book.
That's an actual book. It's not like an online.
Oh no,
thing?
it's like there's like 13
it's-
of them. There's so many of them,
Jeez.
and they're freaking huge. They're massive.
But the best thing about this book, in my opinion, at least from my perspective, is the voice acting. That guy,
Oh yeah, the audiobook rules.
Oh,
he
that's so
makes
good.
it unbelievable. Unbelievable production. The AI feels like a different character. Carl feels like a different character. Princess Donut feels like a different character. Every single character he gives like this life to, and it's not only that. It's like the production too that goes into the audio. I'm like, I've never seen this in an audiobook before, and
Besides
I love
Star
it.
Wars.
And I actually, at the end, there's like this little ad for their studio, and I like went in and I looked it up afterwards because I'm like, I'm interested to see what else they have, and they have a bunch of books that they already have produced, and I'm kind of wanting to look into like reading some of those in the future for our. Have we announced the Amiibros book club yet?
Yeah, Dave did earlier.
Okay, yeah, for the Amiibros book club.
So, agreed. I think, Sean, do you have any thoughts on the book?
I thought it was phenomenal. The AI kept making me laugh. Like every single time I heard the AI talk, I was like, this is like phenomenal. Like this reminds me of that one Justin Roiland game that came out a while ago, High on Life. It reminded me a lot of that High on Life kind of feel to it, as well as
It's actually a really good comparison.
thank you. As well as it reminded me a lot of Borderlands, like how you're playing when you're playing your Borderlands. You have the tutorials, how they're kind of like they're calling you an idiot, like certain spots, and like doing certain bad things. Like they're kind of like giving you like props and not props for being crappy and so on and so forth. But
What are you giving it out of 10?
for the book,
Yeah,
are we talking about genre or overall? Overall, I currently give it a 7. I do feel like one of the things I didn't like about it so far has been like just this out. It's kind of hard for me to explain, but like just a lot like of quick exposition that doesn't make a ton of sense at some points and times, but it will make sense later. But they explain some things in the moment, and then they kind of move on, and then they reintroduce it again later. And you're like, oh, okay, all right, that makes a bit more sense. And that's just more like when I was that's how I felt about it. But I thought itself was just like the story, like everything was just absolutely phenomenal. Like there's not a lot of things I didn't like about it, especially the production that Audible did with it. So
Yeah. Jay?
I mean, this book blew up for a reason. It's a 10. I love this
wow,
book. This
damn.
book is incredible. It kept me entertained from the moment I started it all the way to the end. And every boss fight and every single encounter you have throughout the book is entertaining. It's engaging. You have these characters that feel alive. I mean, Matt Dinniman is... I'm looking at him now and I'm like, okay, I'm excited to see where this guy goes because everything from this book I loved. So 10 out of 10. I think
Wow.
this book blew up for a reason and people are right to love this book series.
Dave?
I'm not sure if it's because I'm like just itching for more of the epic stuff that's in Stormlight. I did have a little bit of rough time, mostly before when he's in there, and then the early goblin sequences, and then the tutorial was like where I was like, okay, like I'm just trying to get through this. But after that, I was definitely hooked. It's not on the level of Way of Kings in terms of like Way of Kings is like epic level fantasy stuff. This is like something. I view this as a palate cleanser for me, I guess.
Yeah.
Like this was nice. It was a change of pace from The Way of Kings. It was an easier read. It was easier to follow along, and it was nice to like. Oh, this is just like a video game, okay? And it just all the comparisons. I like the boss fights especially.
I think you're in a unique position coming off of reading The Way of Kings because that book is, in my opinion, probably the best book written by a single person ever.
Like
so that's kind of a tough comparison to make, but continue. Sorry.
Yeah, it's like, so forgive me, guys out there, for if I'm like, I don't know. It's a good book though. Like I don't think I could give it a 10, but like I'll probably give it a 9. I have 4 chapters left. I'm like right there at the end. I'm at the game show thing right now.
With the
Glorp,
orc.
Glorp with the orc.
Glorp, glorp.
Yeah.
Glorp. I love that old
The orcs.
sequence.
So you haven't met Mongo yet.
I don't think so. They just are we getting into spoilers?
Let me give my
Yeah,
thoughts.
get your thoughts out.
I think I'm giving this like a very strong 8 out of 10. I think it kind of kicks a lot of butt. I think it's nonstop. It's adrenaline pumping. The action sequences I think are phenomenal. I think the characters are great. There's just a couple things, like mainly the lit RPG aspects, that I think are always going to be a weakness for me because it kind of takes me out of it when it's like, okay, stat boost, all the stuff that I got to keep track of now. I'm not a big fan of that. I don't want to be keeping track of like what level our characters are at. I need, if I am, I need to be able to freaking see it like on a video game. I'm not seeing it, I'm reading it or I'm listening to it. So that's where I struggle with lit RPGs, but everything else I really, really enjoy. So I'm giving it a strong 8 out of 10. Let's jump into spoilers because there's a lot of good stuff in this book that I want to talk about. I took a lot of notes.
Yeah.
So I thought what was interesting was, if I'm remembering this correctly, Earth was warned that this was going to happen like thousands of years ago with like when...
No. It wasn't just warned. It was seeded. So that means that these alien planets went in. They put humans there. They put all these different life forms on the planet. That's why all of the life forms are the same throughout the universe.
They were also
It
warned.
goes into it more. Well, yeah, but like they went there with the knowledge that would be the case. But you go into this more in the second book, which I've read the first 10 chapters of so far, so I'm not going to give anything too much away. But they seed these planets, so Earth wasn't just like some like random germs turned into humans. No, humans were seeded from an alien race
Oh, okay.
called the Primordials.
One thing that I freaking loved was, well, backing up, I love Mordecai.
Mordecai's so cool.
He's just like Master Splinter, but he's just like their guide and he's helping them out. And I love later on in the book, you find out that, what's his face? The two
Annette?
bad guys.
Frank and Maggie.
Frank and Maggie were like trained by a bad guy.
Yeah.
Like, not everybody gets a Mordecai. So it's like Mordecai was like,
Mordecai was giving them sound advice,
yeah.
whereas the
The bad guy one was like, go kill
yeah, it's
everybody.
like, you have to kill people.
yeah. So I love that. This was what I was getting to. I love that
PvE
when
versus
Mordecai,
PvP.
when Mordecai is explaining what Borant is there for, he's like, they're mining something that's not important. And I'm like, yes, thank you. It's not important. I don't care about why these aliens are here. It's not important. It's like he just straight up says, he's like, yeah, they're here to mine minerals or something. It's not important.
That is my favorite thing.
It's like, yes, thank you. So that was awesome.
But what was interesting about Borant? Wait, are we spoiling?
Oh yeah, we're in spoilers.
What was interesting about Borant is that you find out later on that there's like this different aspect to Borant that's like the Nazi party, and so you hear like they're like, there's the part there. She's not from the party, so she's like, it's easier to talk to her. And they're like, what's the party? And they're like, closest thing that we could explain the party as is like Imperial Japan mixed with Nazis. Yeah, and it's like, okay, fetch, Borant's bad then.
I was getting some Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
That was another thing I was getting with it too. Yeah.
I haven't read the book. I've seen the movie.
I haven't seen either.
But yeah, I was getting that vibe with like what happened to Earth and like this like alien corporation who did it, and yeah, it's I don't know. I like it. I like that, like the little tidbits of information that it's like there were previous seasons, and we learn like, oh well, all these other races, they have like similar things or similar progression in their civilization, in their lives so that the game shows are more interesting or
Like-
closely aligned.
The pigs wearing the tuxedos.
Yep.
It's like there are things that are universal with every culture. So when you see things from these alien races that they are recycled from these races, it's not just like humanity being.
How about this quote? Did we really just start a meth war between the goblins and the llamas?
So good.
One of my favorite moments in the book is the moment it's like, all right, did you see the goblin in there? Yes, cool. And there's a bunch of kids in there. What?
Yeah.
You're like, what?
And then, achievement.
I said it.
You're a
Damn it,
monster.
Pull that up. Yeah, the achievement was freaking hilarious.
Oh, the
where-
achievement was
I have it. I
mass
sent
child
this to them.
murderer.
No, it says, okay. Oh, here it is. Okay. Unless you're a complete psychopath, we know you probably didn't wake up this morning and tell yourself, today is the day I'm going to slaughter a child. Well, let us put your mind at ease. All children mobs who die within this dungeon don't actually perish. They're transferred to a holding area where they're safe and treated nicely and gently until they can be reunited with their loving parents at the end of the season. Feel better? Good. Reward. These last 20 seconds, when your conscience started to ease, that was your reward. It was also a lie. That baby is dead, and it's dead because of you. You're totally going to hell. So that was awesome.
Just the
And that's another layer that I love for this book is like even the mobs, they're not like made up creatures. They're real. Like they're living these lives between the game shows. This is like they just go into stasis, but like when they go back, they're actually living those lives.
yeah.
That's what's so cool
I
about this.
also love mana toast. This is toast. It refills your mana. That's it. Nothing more. Fetch you. And then Carl's like, I thought that last part was a little harsh.
the AI in this book
Yeah.
just kept me laughing. Every time I hear
It's so
you
funny.
don't get a reward for being a bitch.
Yeah.
Dude, the part where it's like going off about his feet, it's like,
Yeah. Anytime
Daddy
it
liked
starts-
that.
Anytime it talks about Carl's feet is hilarious.
Like the
And the
AI
fact-
has a foot fetish.
And the fact that like his feet have like been leveled up to like this insane degree because of that.
He's like stomping everything, and like the system keeps rewarding him for doing it.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
But one thing I love about Carl is that he's just a genuinely good dude. Like there's that moment where all the aliens, they're watching the show and they're showing all these like horrible things that happened on Earth, and Carl, like normally like a book would portray that in a way where the character's looking at it and being like, man, maybe this is a good thing. Like maybe Earth did need to be cleansed, and it's like, no, Carl's like, no, they're only showing the bad stuff. This isn't how Earth is. They're trying to make you feel this way. And so it's like that was awesome that we get a moment like that where Carl is like shown that Earth is good,
Yeah.
and he believes that.
Can I also say another thing that I loved about the book was that while you're going through the story, there's also these other characters that are being set up on the episodes that you're like, okay, you know this person's gonna come back into play, like the
Yeah.
Shield Maiden.
The little girl with the two dogs.
Yeah, the girl with the two dogs. You're like, you know they're gonna come into play at some point.
I am also kind of wondering. I like write down anytime I think something is going to come back into play when Carl's like, I forget if he's laying in a bed or what he's doing, but he sees the initials AMW.
Yep.
And I'm like, that's going to come back, I think, because he like makes a note. He's like, AMW, I wonder who that was. Like
How
before this
long do they
time.
live?
Yeah.
Where they're at now?
Yeah,
Where
so
they
it's
came
like,
from?
I wonder who AMW is, when they're going to come back.
and then Agatha, what the heck is going on with Agatha? What an interesting character.
Remind me who that is.
She's the lady that he takes the cart and then he's like later
yeah,
on
the
he's like
cart
he's like
lady,
he's
yeah.
like, what are these 3 items that were in my inventory but aren't there anymore? And he's like, wait, those were in Agatha's cart, and it's like from this outside corporation. He's like, what is this?
Yeah.
And it's like it
Well,
doesn't
there's another
elaborate.
thing. There's another thing too with Princess Donut where she gets like it's a racial bonus or racial and then it disappeared. Racial what was it? I just wrote down racial bonus. I know that's not what it said, but it said like I got a notification that said I had some sort of racial bonus, and then it disappeared. And it's like, so clearly they're like giving them things and then hiding it from them. So
Yeah.
that's gonna come back.
And they did say in this the game show part that I'm at, like, some people think you're the AI's bitch, the AI's pet,
yeah.
and it's
And it
like,
kind of makes you chuckle because it's like he kind of is. He kind of is.
But I love that. I mean, look at the freaking back of this book is so awesome. Or is it the front?
You will not break me.
You will not break me.
Yes.
It's like his mantra.
And
Like,
it's
is
just
dope.
going
That's
throughout
freaking
the
sick.
entire book.
Can I just say, I love the art.
Oh, I do
for
too.
The book.
The covers
more
are awesome.
More than I do the audiobook. The audiobook one is just kind of jarring to look at. I'm like, ugh. But then I see this and I'm like, this is dope. And then it's saying "You Will Not Break Me" is dope.
Yeah.
Good
and
book.
the fact that the system won't give him pants is the funniest thing to me too.
Yeah. Everybody keeps trying to give him stuff, and it's like either too small.
Or a different gender, like a
Yeah.
woman's pants.
And then you find out that like the system will do that on purpose because it thinks it's funny. Because like it keeps giving Princess Donut torches and Donut's just like hissing every time it does it.
I like coming from a background of playing RPG video games and stuff. Like I like the characters that they're setting up. So Carl's definitely like the meme run of a game, and then Princess Donut is totally going magic heavy, and I freaking love it. Like the magic missiles, the healing, the puddle skip ability where she could like teleport wherever she can see.
Yeah.
I love all these abilities, and they definitely seem to be like character specific because they talk about the Frank, Q, and Maggie having like the ability, and where I just ended, that troll or the orc guy gave them a potion that levels up their human tracking ability to like level 15, where they can type in a name and it just auto spots them for them, and it's like, oh, fetch, level 3 is gonna suck.
Yeah.
Now, okay, why do you think Maggie killed the daughter? Yvette?
I don't know.
I don't know either. I'm honestly curious. Do you guys have any theories?
I do think that we're going to get. Yeah, I mean, it's either going to go, we humanize them and we make them good guys and we understand where they're coming from, or
Before they die.
or they really are just not important anymore. Like they say at the end, like their numbers are low. That storyline isn't important anymore. Like we're not going to pursue that storyline. And so the storyline that's more important now is
That would be kind of refreshing if they just were like,
yeah.
they died off screen.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
And I think Odette is going to be an issue later on.
The talk show host?
Yeah.
With the big boobs.
Well, they're all fake.
The
Like,
massive
she
fake
is
knockers.
fake. Like she completely separates herself from whatever entity she's pretending to be.
Well, that was her like armor because she herself was a former dungeon crawler.
Yeah, because she actually has crab legs still.
But the fact that Mordecai like has such beef with her, I'm like really interested in that.
And
Like,
Mordecai
if it's the
is
same
clearly a good dude.
yeah.
I wonder if they were on the same run.
No, they tell us that Mordecai, for Mordecai, she was what Mordecai is to Carl.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
And he tells when she's like, "Hey, tell Mordecai that like I want to talk to him," and he's like, "No, tell her to piss off. I don't want anything to do with her." But that's going to be interesting because I'm really curious where this is going to go.
She's done things though that are helpful, and that's why I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's like if your numbers go down, we're done. But I don't think she'll ever be
We're-
like a problem. for
We're
them.
given a lot of stuff here with the lore, and we're given a lot of characters that I think are going to play a huge role. Like Zev, I think, is going to be a character who is, in my theory, she's going to be one of the Kuatin who are good and are wanting to help them. That's the Borant alien race.
Okay, so I actually have a theory on the Borant, everything with Borant,
Okay.
and it has to do with Agatha. I think there's going to be a point in the show where like Borant is going to get into like a conflict with whatever company Agatha's from, and that'll be like a huge thing that'll happen off screen, and then like just suddenly, because you know how like the times are shortened for everything.
Yeah.
I think we'll suddenly have like a different regime take over, and like
Well, they
the
say
times will
that. They
be
say that
lengthened.
in season 2, that other race is going to take over and they're going to run season 2.
Oh, they
And
say
it's
that?
gonna be
It's
even worse.
it's in the beginning.
Yeah.
So how?
No, it's not at the beginning. It's near the end.
Well, there was a moment where Carl was asking him, like, "Hey, so you've been around for a century. Like, how is the game format?" It's like, okay, well, every 2.5 years or whatever, there's a different race who does create a new season, and there's some seasons that are better or worse. And so,
Yeah.
so over 100
Yeah, they
years,
said the
they're
people
different.
running this season are more into like the goblins and the fantasy elements. The next season, these guys are more into like sci-fi and laser beams and all sorts of science fiction guns and weapons.
But I thought that like a season was like everything that Carl's in. That will be run for
I
an
think
entire
so.
season.
I think so.
Which is
Yeah.
like 2.5
So I think
years.
what I'm saying is I think like halfway through there will be something that goes on like behind the scenes
Okay.
that like happens to the Borant Corporation that like forces them to like
change the season.
change the season to whatever corporation Agatha's from, because they tell us that I'm gonna quit talking, but from what I remember, with
What,
the
do you know
conversation
something we don't know?
with, well, I am 10 chapters ahead in the second.
Oh, okay.
From the conversation with the talk show host lady, she does say like, no, it's not. It's behind the scenes with Mordecai, because Mordecai gets to talk while they're talking about Gossip Girl. Yeah, and he's like, that company was going to take over Borant, and that's why they sped the show up. That's why we started the show so much earlier than we were planning on doing it. Remember? So I think there's going to be something that goes on behind the scenes with that.
Yeah,
Right?
it wouldn't. From what I've learned in this book, things get brought up for a reason. They wouldn't just drop that if they weren't going to bring it back up.
Oh, and that's another thing is like when Frank pees in the hallway and it like triggers the elemental to come out. That's so cool because it's like the entire book they're talking about using the bathrooms.
Yeah.
And you're like, that doesn't apply to our character. They don't pee outside. And then you remember like, oh wait, they're with a bunch of old people that can't control their bladders.
Yeah.
That does affect our guy.
Yeah,
I love that.
Let's end on like a high here, and it's the fact that Carl like has just a heart of gold. Like there's a moment in this. Well, I'll go to the first one just chronologically. There's a moment where Carl's talking to Donut and how she is talking to him and she's telling him like, I noticed when you were looking for apartments for when you were going to live somewhere else, you were always looking for places that had pets. And that like made me all misty-eyed, and I'm like, man, Carl loves this fetching cat. Even though this cat is like not his, he's like, no, I want to take care of this cat because he cares about her. And that relationship between Carl and Princess Donut is, I think, what's going to carry this thing to the end. It is built on those two shoulders. And then the second moment where I was like, man, Carl's just a good freaking dude is when they finally get done with that huge boss battle, and he's looking at Donut and he's like, man, should we even bother with these old people anymore? Like, is it just going to bring us down? What do we do? Do we bail or do we stay with these guys? And Donut just looks at him and she's like, how is it that I know what you're going to do before you even do it? And he's like, yeah, he says, I wrote it down. He's like, what was the point of living if I couldn't live with myself? And I'm like, man, Carl's a good man, dang it. I love Carl. I love Donut. I love where we're going.
And that's exactly what I'm saying is these characters, they're so well written that you just fall in love with them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Anybody else got some closing thoughts?
Good book.
Good book.
Good luck.
Book.
Good luck.
Good book.
Good luck.
Well, if we got nothing else, I think we're going to wrap this episode up. We're going to be reading book 2 this week.
By the end of the week, we'll have the second one done, right?
Yeah.
This next one's shorter than the first one, so
Yeah.
I think we can do it.
The goal is to crank these bad boys out, hopefully in time for book 8's release.
Yeah.
Is book 8 the last one? How many are we doing of these Dungeon Crawler Carl books?
Well, I mean,
I actually have been avoiding any outside information because I
me
just
too.
want to enjoy these. I've already bought up to like the 6th book.
I think it would be fun if we invited on Tyler's brother,
Justin,
because he has clearly read all of them.
shout out Justin.
Shout out Justin. I think that'd be fun if we had him on. And
That'd be
we
a
just
nice like channel collab or something.
yeah, and we could just ask him like Dungeon Crawler Carl questions, and he can give us like some little tidbits.
Yeah, I can reach out to him.
That'd be kind of cool if we finished this before the 8th one came out, and then we could like have him on and be like, "Hey,
Yeah.
coming from a seasoned fan,
Yeah.
what does everybody say? Because we're not. Yeah, I'd like
we don't
that.
know.
Yeah.
All right, well,
All right. Well, this was a very book-heavy episode of the Amiibros Pod. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.